Hello student. In this video I am going to solve the most expected question in JEE 2020 from the chapter chemical bonding and molecular structure. So let me move on to the first question here. See the first question here. In which of the following molecules the bonding is not taking place in excited state? Okay, so now here they are given the which is your the methane, and next thing is your the boron, that is your the trifluoride, that is your the iodine heptafluoride, as well as your the phosphorus trichloride. Now see the first one here. So let me take the first one here. That is about the CH4. And the second one they are given the boron trifluoride. The next thing is about the IF7. That is about the iodine heptafluoride. And the last one is about the phosphorus trichloride. So let me take the word the particle the word the carbon. So its electronic configuration. So let me write the word the electronic configuration in the word the this is the word the ground state here. Okay. So now here we are having the word the 1s2. So we are having a which is your the 2s2, and also what you are having this is the 2p2. Okay, but I am going to write in this form here. Okay, now see this one here. So this is I am going to take only the what the outermost, this is what the electrons here, the 2s2 as well as the which one, the 2p2. Okay, so this is the what the electronic configuration in the what the ground state. Okay, just identify this one here. So 2s2 2p2, but in the ground state we are having only the 2 unpaired electron. But actually the word whenever the carbon combines with hydrogens to form the methane, this carbon requires the what the 4 unpaired electrons. In the ground state what you are having, this is what the only the 2, that is what the unpaired electrons. So now here I am going to write the which is what the excited state here. Okay, so now this particular the electron shift towards the p orbital. Now we are going to have in the excited state we can identify the 4 unpaired electrons. See this one, we can identify the 4 unpaired electrons. That means so only whenever they gets excited we can identify the word this particular the word the compound, that is the word the CH4. Okay, in the ground state we are having only the word the 2 unpaired electrons. So whenever the carbon combines to form the word the methane, they require the 4 unpaired electrons. Only on excitations we can identify the word the 4, this is what the unpaired electrons. Okay, so it is not taking place in the which is the ground state. Okay, see the next one here. If I see the next one here, that is what the boron, I'm going to write it in this form. Okay, so its electronic configuration is what the 1s2, so 2s2, and the next thing is what the 2p1. Okay, so I'll take only the what the outermost, this is what the orbital here, that is what the 2s2, and here we are having only the what the 1 unpaired electrons in the ground state. But actually this boron requires you the 3 unpaired electrons to combine with the fluorine. So again this will be gets excited here, and here you are going to get this one. See the excited state here. So here 1 unpaired, and here in the p orbital we can identify the which in the 2 unpaired. The total is what the 3. Okay, so whenever the boron combines with the what the fluorine, they gets excited, and here we got the 3 unpaired electrons, and here we are going to get the boron trifluoride. Okay, it is not taking place in the ground state. Okay, see the next one here. Okay, so for the what the iodine, okay, I'm going to write it in this form. Okay, this is what the krypton. Okay, so we are having 4d10. Again we are having which in the what the 5s2, and also what we are having the 5p5. Okay, so I'll take only the which is the outermost here. Okay, see this one here. So in the what the particular the what the p orbital we can get what the 5 electrons. Okay, so but in the ground state we can identify only the 1 unpaired electrons, but actually this iodine requires which one, the 7 unpaired electrons. Now see the what the particular the excitations here. So we know that especially in the what the iodine there is a availability of the which is the what the d orbital. So there is a presence of the which is the d orbital. Now see this one here. So this will be comes here, and this one also comes here. Okay, and here this one also. Okay, I'm going to show it in this way. Okay, so now you just identify this one here. In the s orbital we are having 1 unpaired electrons. So in the p orbitals we are having about the 3 unpaired electrons. In the d orbital, okay, just go to this one here. In the d orbital, so the 1, so 2, 3, and the totally what we got, that is what the 7 unpaired electrons. That means so only on the excitation it forms what the IF7. Okay, so see the last one, that is what the phosphorus here. Okay, so let me write the what the particular electronic configurations. That is what the 1s2, so 2s2, 2p6. The next thing we are having a 3s2, and also what we are having what the 3p3. Okay, just go to the what the outermost, this is what the shell here. I'm going to take the what the 3s2, and also we are having the 3p3. Okay, here we are having a 2 electrons, here we are having a which is the 3 electrons, but actually this phosphorus requires the 3 unpaired electrons. So this 3 unpaired electron is present in the which in the ground state. That means, so which of the following molecule bonding is not taking place in the excited, that is this one, because in the ground state where there is a availability of the 3 unpaired electrons, hence this particular the compound formed in the which one, the ground state. Okay, hence the option is D. Okay, so next one, the molecule without any lone pair around the central atom. Okay, especially in these questions I am going to give you the equations to calculate the which one the hybrid, and also to identify the number of the lone pair. Okay, so see this one here. So see the first one here, there is the xenon, the trioxide, there is the XeO3, and here is the XeO4, XeF6, and also what you are having the xenon, XeO2F2. Okay, see this one here. So I'm going to give you the equation. So this is the equation. There's a H stand for the number of hybrid orbitals, that is the half into number of, there's a valence electrons of the central atom plus monovalent minus cation plus ion. Suppose if it is having any positive charge or the negative charge. And similarly for to identify the lone pair, so we have to remember this equation. That is the number of hybrid orbitals minus a divalent and minus monovalent. Okay, this equations you have to remember. Okay, not only for these questions here, especially in the chemical bonding, we can identify the hybridations and also the shape. That means the shape is decided by the presence of the lone pair of electrons on the central atom. If the central atom does not containing a lone pair, that shape is decided by the which one, the hybridation. Okay, see the first one here. Okay, let me calculate the first one here. So that is the half into, here the central atom is the which one, the xenon, so their valence electron is the which is the 8. We don't have the monovalent because oxygen is a divalent. Okay, so here it is a 0. Okay, so now if you do the calculations here we got the which is the 4. Okay, so this is the number of hybrid orbitals, what you got is the 4, but actually we have to calculate the which one, the lone pair. Okay, how to calculate the lone pair here? There is a number of hybrid orbitals, the 4 we got from this one. So divalent, oxygen is a divalent, that is the 3, we don't have the monovalent, hence the value that becomes the which is the 1, it is having a 1, this is the lone pair. So let me calculate in this one here. For this one, half into, so 8, so we don't have the which is the monovalent. Again I'm going to write like this. Okay, so here what we got is the 4. Again we got the which is the 4. Okay, see the lone pair here. So in this case the lone pair is the number of hybrid orbital is the 4 minus divalent is the 4. We don't have the monovalent, hence the value that becomes the 0. It does not have the lone pair. Okay, so let me calculate for the next one here. That is the half into, that is the 8. Now we are having the monovalent, that is the 6, that is the fluorine. So 8 plus 6 minus 0 plus the 0. So here if you calculate, here we are going to get the 7. Okay, see this one, the number of lone pair in this one, that is the 7. We don't have the divalent, but we are having which is the monovalent. And finally we got the which is the 1. Okay, see the last one here. So half into, so this is the 8. So 8 plus 2, we don't have the cations or the anions. So here we got the which is the 5. This is the H value. This is the hybrid. So see the lone pair here. So the lone pair, the 5, the hybrid orbitals. So divalent is the 2 because oxygen is a divalent, and the halogens, all the halides will be the monovalent. We are having the 2. Finally we got the which is the 1. But what is the question here? The molecule without any lone pair of electrons. That means here we don't have the lone pair of electrons. Hence we are having a which is the XeO4. The option is B. The option is B. Okay. Next one. The carbon atoms in C2 CN12 is one of the cyanogen compound here. Okay. Let me write you the particular the structure here. Okay. See this one. So carbon to carbon triple bond. Again we are having the 2 cyanide group here, that is the CN, and here also we are having a single bond C, triple bond N. Okay, so remember the one of the concept here, especially for the is only for the carbon, not for the different element here. I'm talking about the carbon. The valency of carbon is the 4. The valency of the carbon is the 4. Okay, just identify this one. So if the carbon is surrounded by, the 4 sigma bond, it is always a which one, the sp3. So this one you have to remember. Okay, see the next one here. If the carbon is surrounded by the 3 sigma and 1 pi bond, it is always a which is the sp2. Similarly, 2 sigma and 2 pi bond, it is always a which in the word the sp. Okay, consider the word the this one, consider the word the this carbon here. So this carbon, the valency is satisfied here. From this carbon to this carbon, it is a which is the word the sigma. From here to here, whatever the first bond is always a sigma, the next will be the word the remaining is the word the pi bond. Okay, just identify this one here. So just go to this one. We are having 2 sigma and 2 pi bond, hence what is the hybridization? It is a sp. So come to this one here. So from this carbon to this carbon, it is a which in the sigma, and the remaining is the pi bond. Okay, just identify here. Again, what we got, the 2 sigma and 2 pi bond, hence again the hybridization is a which one? That is the sp. So again here the carbon to carbon is the sigma, and just go to this one here. So we are having 2 sigma and the which in the 2 pi bond, again it is a which is the sp. And here is a sigma and the 2 pi bond here. So just go to this one here. So we are having 2 sigma and the 2 pi bond, hence the hybridization is the sp. The carbon atoms in this compound, that is all are sp hybridized. All are sp hybridized. Okay. See the next question here. Which of the following should have the pyramidal shape? Okay, so that means it is also called as a which in the word the distorted, that is the tetrahedral shape. Okay, so let me solve the one by one here. Okay, see the first one here. The first one, they are given the particle the compound ions, that is the ClOF2 plus. The next one is ICl3, and the next thing is BRI, that is the Cl. So the interhalogen compounds here, and the next thing is the last one is sulfur trioxide. Okay, see this one. So again, we have to identify the central atom. Here the central atom is which is the chlorine, and here it is the iodine, and here also the iodine, but here it is the central atom is which and the sulfur. Okay, so again you have to use these equations to identify the particle, the shape, as well as which one, the number of lone pair. Okay, see this one. So we know that number of hybrid orbital half into valence electron plus monovalent minus cation plus the anion. Okay, and again to identify the lone pair, so we are having a equation, that is the H minus D minus the M, that is the hybrid, divalent, and the next thing is the monovalent. Okay, see the first one here. Okay, so let me calculate the first one here. We are having the which is the half. Okay, so we are having, there is a valence electron for the chlorine is the 7. Okay, so plus the divalent will be the 2, and we are having a cation because we are having only the 1 plus, and so I am going to write the minus 1 and the 0. Okay, I am going to write directly this value, that becomes which is the 4. Okay, and now we have to calculate the lone pair. This is the 4. The next thing is the minus 1, that is the divalent is 1, and the monovalent is the 2, and finally we got the which is the 1 lone pair. Okay, similarly, okay, if we calculate this one, okay, here we are going to get, that is the 5. The number of hybrid orbitals is the 5. Okay, so if you want to calculate the lone pair, okay, just go to this one here. So 5 minus 0 minus 3, the value what we got is the 2. It contains the 2. Okay, similarly, if you do the calculation in this way, that is your central atom is the iodine, and here we are going to get, again we are going to get the 5, but the lone pair is different. Okay, because the 5 minus, okay, so we don't have the divalent, but we are having the monovalent. The total number of the lone pair is the 3. So similarly for the last one here, the last one, if we calculate according to this one here, and here we are going to get the hybrid orbitals the 3. Okay, so see the lone pair here. Here we got the 3 minus 3, and here what we got is the 0. But see, just go to this one. According to this one, the hybridization is the sp3. According to this one, the hybridization is the which one, that is the sp3d, and here it is the sp3d, and this one is the sp2. Okay, see the next one here. sp3 and which is containing a 1 lone pair, sp3d which is containing the 2 lone pair, sp3 is containing 3 lone pair, but here the sp2 which does not containing the lone pair. Okay, see this one. sp3 is the tetrahedral, but this central atom contains which in the 1 lone pair. That means you just identify this one. The sp3 is the which is if it is talking about the tetrahedral, it is a sp3, it is a tetrahedral. Okay, let me write the particular this one. This is the central, this is the atom. I am going to write it in this one. Okay, But what does it contain? Is the one lone pair of electrons. Here what you can identify is, what you're going to identify is, so they shows you what the distorted the tetrahedral. Okay, hence it is also called as a which one? This is what the pyramidal in shape. Okay, just this is the particular, the representation is similar to the what the ammonia is the pyramidal, the same concept. Here we are having a 3, this is the bond pair, and the one lone pair is a pyramidal, or else it is also called as a distorted tetrahedral. Okay, when you come to the what this one, I'm talking about the what this one, sp3 is a which in the trigonal, this is what the bipyramidal, sorry, is a trigonal bipyramidal here. And what does it contains? Your the 2 lone pair of electrons. Okay, which is containing a 2 lone pair of electrons. Hence in this case, so this is the what the pyramidal, and whenever it is containing a 2 lone pair, this becomes the what the shape will be the what the bent T shape, the bent T shape. And here we are going to have, especially in this one we are having a 3 lone pair, the particularly what the shape will be the what the linear. And here we are going to get the which is what the trigonal planar, because it does not have the which one, that is the lone pair of electrons, it is a trigonal planar. Okay, so hence in this case, which of the following should have the what the pyramidal shape? The option is which is what the A. Okay, so next one, according to the what the VS EPR theory, okay, that's your the iO2 F2 minus ion, the fluorine to the what the iodine to the fluorine. Okay, so the bond angle will be nearly. Okay, so just go to this one. So let me calculate this particular the what the questions similar to the previous one here. So see the first one here. So that is the iO2 F2 minus. Okay, so the central atom is the what the iodine here. Okay, let me calculate the what the hybrid orbitals. Okay, so see this one here. So central atom is the what the this one here. I'm going to calculate the hybrid orbital. That is the half into. Okay, so the again I'm going to write the valence electron plus monovalent plus cation plus the sorry minus cation plus anions. Okay, see this one. The valence electrons will be the what the 7. We are having a which in the monovalent, that is the what the 2. And here we are having a 0, but here we are having anions. Okay, the totally if you calculate here, we are going to get the what the 5. So according to the what the this hybrid orbitals, the hybridation is the what the sp3d. Okay, let me calculate the what the lone pair here. So we are having a hybrid orbitals minus divalent, again the what the minus the monovalent. So 5 minus 2 minus the what the 2, the totally that becomes the what the 1 lone pair. Okay, see this one here. So if it is sp3d, the shape will be the trigonal bipyramidal, and which is containing a 1 lone pair. Okay, just go to this one here. So here this is the central atom is the what the iodine. See this one. So I am going to write the what the trigonal, this is what the bipyramidal. Okay, that is what the 2 fluorine that will be present at the what the axial. Okay, see this one. And next one here, this is the 2 oxygens here. Okay, I'm going to write this is the what the double bond. Okay, and again we are having a double bond here. Okay, and what does it contain? That is what the 1 lone pair of electrons, like this. Okay, so now see the what the particle, this one. Okay, so which is containing which is your the 1 lone pair, and the which is your the 4 is your the bond pair. Okay, just go to this one here. So here we are talking about the bond angle from here to here. So hence the bond angle will be the which is your the 180 degree. Okay, hence in this case the bond angle is which is your the 180 degree. Okay, so next one. The main factor responsible for the weak Lewis acid nature of boron trifluoride among all boron trihalide is. Okay, so just go to this one here. So first let me explain the word the why the boron trifluoride will be the word the Lewis acid. Okay, just go to this one. The central atom is the what the boron. Its electronic configuration is what the 1s2 2s2, and the next thing is the what the 2p1. Okay, so this is the what the ground state. Whenever they get excited, here we are going to get like this. Okay, so here we are going to get the which is the 3, that is the what the unpaired electrons. So whenever the bond taking place towards the what the fluorine, after the bond formation, we are going to get like this. Okay, this is the what the unpaired electrons of the fluorine. Okay, you just identify. After the bond formation also there is a which is the vacant p orbitals, especially here there is a vacant p orbital here. Okay, see the next one here. If I write the electronic configuration of the fluorine, so we know that electronic configuration is what the 1s2 2s2, and next thing is the which is the 2p5. But see the next concept here, this fluorine contains the which is what the 3 lone pair of electrons. Okay, so you just identify there is a vacant in the which is your the p orbital, that is your the 2p, and we are having a which is your the particle the lone pair of electrons in the which is your the 2p, and even in the word this one also. Okay, just identify this one. So we are having a which is your the, that means the boron as your the vacant p orbital, and the fluorine as the which in the 2p orbital with, this is the 2p orbital with, okay, that is your the 3 lone pair of electron. That means, so we are having a which is the 2p and 2p orbital. So this 2p of boron, this 2p of the which is your the this one, this is the fluorine here, the 2p orbital is same. So which is having the same, which one, this is your the size. Okay, if this will be the what the same, and even the what the energy also the what the same, size is also the same, and the next thing is the what the energy is also the what the same. Hence see the next one here, hence this boron accepting the which one, the lone pair of electron, this boron accepting the which is your the lone pair of electrons, lone pairs of electron. Okay, see this one here. So now, and the next thing is from the which one, lone pair of electron from which one, that is the what the fluorine. Okay, so now here we can identify the what the bonding. Okay, just identify this one. So once the bond is completed, and later on, okay, let me write down the particular this one here. This is what the structure of the which is the boron trifluorides here. Okay, see this one. After the what the bond formations, we can identify there is a vacant in the what the p orbitals. There is the what the, so now we can identify, that means the what the fluorine as a 2 p orbital with 3 lone pair of electrons, maybe here or maybe here. That means they shows you which is the back bonding. Okay, so maybe here or maybe here. That means, so why they shows you the back bonding, because we are having the same 2p orbitals because of the same size as well as the what the energy. So here the what the back bonding is between the which in the 2 is your the 2 pi to the what the 2 p pi, that is what the p pi to p pi back bonding. Okay, hence because of that we can't identify, once the back bonding is completed we can't identify the what the vacant, that is the which one zero the p orbital. Hence because of that nature it is about the very weak, that is the Lewis acid, because of the formation of p pi to p pi back bonding. Okay, so next one, according to the what the molecular orbital theory, that is what the HOMO in the what the O2 minus is nothing but the what the highest occupied molecular orbital. HOMO is nothing but the what the highest, that is what the occupied molecular orbital. Okay, so let me take the what the particle the what the ions here. Here they are given the which one, the what the O2 minus. Okay, just go this one. It is a O2 minus. So the total number of electron is what the 70. Okay, let me write the what the molecular electronic configuration. This is the what the sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Next thing is sigma 2s2. And the next thing is sigma star, that is the what the 2s2. Okay, so next one is sigma 2pz2. Okay, so the next thing is what the pi. The pi 2px, which is having the same energy to the what the pi 2py, and the next comes the which is what the pi star. Okay, this is what the pi star 2px, which is having the same energy to the what the pi star 2py, and the last one we are having which is what the sigma star, that is what the 2pz. Okay, remember one thing here, if the total number of electrons is the what the, this is what the 15 and more than the what the 15, we have to follow the what the this order. If it is what the 14 and less than the what the 14, this will be goes to the what the high energy, that means this will be shifted to here. Okay, so now we have to identify the total number of electrons with the 17 up to here is what the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and this one is what the 17. Now we have to identify highest occupied molecular orbital. This is the what the highest. We are having pi star 2px, again what you are having the pi star 2py. Okay, hence the option is B. The option is B. Okay, so next one. According to the stability of N2, N2 plus and N2 minus is in the order. That means you have to identify the particle, the order of the stability here. Okay, just go this one here. So now you have to identify the order here. So let me go to calculate the which is what the bond order. Okay, so we know that the bond order is directly proportional to the what the bond strength and inversely proportional to the what the bond length. Okay, so the total number of electron is which one, the what the 14 in this case. And the next thing is the what the N2 plus, here we are having a which is the what the 13, and the next thing is what the N2 minus here the what the 15. Okay, so see this one. So let me write the molecular electronic configuration. That's what the sigma 1s2. This is what the sigma star, that is what the 1s2, and the next thing is what sigma 2s2, and next thing is what the sigma star 2s2. Okay, see this one. Here the what the electron is up to the what the 14. Okay, now we are going to use the what the this one. This is what the pi 2px having the same energy, that is what the pi 2py. Now here it comes which is what the sigma 2pz. Okay, and next thing is pi star 2px having the same energy to the what the pi star 2py, and next thing is what the sigma star, that is what the 2pz. Okay, so now see 14 electrons here. Here is what the 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So here is a 13 and the what the 14. Okay, so similarly I am going to calculate here also. That is what the sigma 1s2. So sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2. Next thing is what sigma star 2s2, and next thing is what the pi 2px. Next thing is what the pi 2py. Okay, the next thing is what the sigma 2pz. Okay, I'm going to write up to here. Okay, see this one 8. Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the what the 13. Okay, so similarly for this one here, but here the what the order will be the what the different, because this will be the what the becomes the what the lower energy. If it is the what the more than the 15 and more than the 15, sigma 1s2. Next thing is sigma star 1s2. The next thing is sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, and now this becomes the sigma 2pz. Okay, next thing is what? So pi 2px, pi 2py, and the next thing is what? The pi star. The pi star 2px. The next thing is what? The pi star 2py, and the last thing is what? The sigma star, that is what? The 2pz. Okay, just go to this one here. 15 here, up to here is what? The 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and this is the what? The 15. Okay, so now once we know the molecular electronic configuration, let me calculate the bond order for this one. Okay, for the nitrogen here, this is what the bond order, which is equal to half into the number of bonding molecular orbital minus the number of anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, see this one. So if you take the what the bonding molecular orbital, this is what the 2. Okay, is 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is the what the 10. Okay, and here it is the what the 2. Okay, the total will be the what the 4. If you calculate this one, here we are going to get the what the 3. For the N2 plus, so let me calculate for the what the N2 plus, that is the what the half into, okay, bonding molecular orbital. So 2 plus 2. So we are having it in the 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is the what the 9. Okay, so 9 minus. Okay, so here we are going to have the which is the what the, so 2 plus 2, that is the what the 4. Here we got, that is the what the, so if you finally calculate here, we are going to get the which in the what the 2.5. Okay, so next thing is the what the N2 minus by using the same equations here. Okay, see this one here. So here, so 2 again here I give the 2. Okay, this is the what the 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8. Okay, so this is this one here. So is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. Okay, minus, see the what the anti-bonding here. So it is the what the 4, and here we are having which is the 5. Okay, see this one here. In the second and the what the third, we are having which is what the same bond order. So already I told that the bond order is directly proportional to the what the bond strength here. But if you are having a what the same bond order, okay, remember one thing, if you have the what the same bond order, then you have to go for the what the anti-bonding. If there is a presence of the what the anti-bonding molecular orbital, the stability will be the what the less. Okay, just go to this one. In N2 plus, we don't have the which is the what the number of this is what the anti-bonding, this is what the molecular orbital. Okay, so only what you are having the 1 and 2. Okay, but if you're talking about the N2 minus, so 1, 2, and again what you are having the 3. Okay, as you as there is a presence of the more number of the anti-bonding molecular orbital, okay, the stability gradually what the decreases. Now we can identify the N2, which is the higher, this is what the bond order, and the stability is what the more. Between the N2 plus and the N2 minus, this will be the what the more stable because of the what the less number of anti-bonding molecular orbital, hence this follows the what the order, hence this follows the which is the what the order. Okay, so this one you have to remember, if the bond order is same, you have to identify the what the number of anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, hence the option in this case is the what the A. So next one, so choose the what the compounds of maximum and minimum ionic character from the what the lithium chloride, rubidium, beryllium, and also the what the magnesium chloride. Okay, so see this one here. So in order to identify this one, you have to remember the what the particular the what the rule. That's the what the Fajan's rule. Okay, so let me write the what the particular this one, the Fajan's rule. Okay, but actually this Fajan's rule, so which indicates this rule that indicates, okay, so covalent character in ionic compound, covalent character in ionic compound. So but actually by using this one we can easily identify which one is more covalent and which one is the more ionic also. Okay, so just go to this one here. I'm going to indicate the which is the properties here. Let's see what the cations and also the properties of the which is the anions. Okay, so just go to this one here. So for the cation, the properties, just go to this one. For the cation, you have to remember this property here. Okay, smaller the size of cation, smaller the size of which one, the cation. This one you have to remember. Okay, and here it is which one for the what the anion. That's what the larger the size of the anion. So larger the size of anion, larger the size of the which is the anion. The second property you have to remember here, that is the higher the charge of the cations. Okay, the charge, that means higher the charge of cation, because this is the properties of the cation. And here it is which one, higher the charge of the anion. Here also the charge should be the which one, higher the charge. Okay, just go to this one. So here they are given the lithium, rubidium, beryllium, and the magnesium. So the sum related to the first group, the sum related to the which is the second group. Okay, let me take the first group here. In the given the particularly the salt, we are having a which in the lithium as well as the rubidium. I took only the these two because in this salt they are given only the two. The metal belongs to the first group. And in the second group we are having a which is the beryllium, and the next thing is which is the magnesium. Okay, just go to this one here. Smaller the size of the cation, larger the size of the anion, greater is the which is the covalent character. Okay, this rule is stated for the which is the covalent character. That means that refers to which is the minimum, the ionic. You just identify this one. Suppose if you take the reverse of this one, that gives the which is the more ionic character. Okay, smaller the size of the cation, because you have to identify only the cation, because the chloride in all the case what you are having the chloride, this will be the same. Okay, just go this one. Higher the, that means the larger the size of the cation, because we know that first group elements which is having a larger size among the lithium and the rubidium. That means rubidium chloride, they are the which is the very less covalent. That means they are the which is the more ionic one. Okay, so we got the more ionic one. Okay, now we have to identify the minimum ionic character. Minimum ionic character, that refers to which is the more covalent here. We just identify. Smaller the size of the cation, because we know that the size of the first group will be the larger. Come to the second group here. But in the second group, the beryllium which is having a smaller size than the which is the magnesium, because we know that as we move down the group, size goes on increases. The size of the cation is also goes on the increases. That means the size of the cation is smaller for the which in the beryllium. Okay, so that means they shows the more covalent, that is the less, that is the ionic character. That means the more ionic, the maximum ionic character is for the which one, rubidium chloride. That is the minimum ionic character is the which one, the beryllium chloride. Okay, hence the option is C. The option is C. Okay, see the next one here. An ion without pseudo inert gas configuration is. Okay, so remember this concept. This is also the most important one. So whichever the metal ion, if they shows the pseudo noble gas configuration, or is nothing but pseudo inert gas configuration, their salt is always a which is the covalent in nature. Okay, so let me take this one. What exactly the pseudo inert gas configuration? If any of the metal ion, if they obeys this particular electronic configuration, NS2, NP6, and the ND10. This is very important one. So whichever the metal ion, they shows NS2, NP6, and ND10 configuration. Okay, so this is nothing but the which is the pseudo, is the noble gas configuration. Okay, so PNGC. Okay, I write it like the pseudo noble gas configuration. Okay, so this is the what the most important one. Okay, let me take the first one here. So I'm going to take the what the silver. Okay, I'm not going to take the Ag plus here. Similarly for the what the cadmium, again we are writing which in the zinc, and again I'm going to write the which is what the iron. See this one. I'm going to write the electronic configuration for the what the silver. We are having argon 4d10, and the next thing is what the 5s1. This is the electronic configuration. For the cadmium, argon 4d10 5s2. For the zinc, argon 3d10 4s2. For the iron, we are having argon 3d6 4s2. Okay, just go to this one here. So whenever it will be forms the what the Ag plus. Okay, see the what the electronic configuration here. The krypton, we have to remove the what the one electron. That means what you are going to have 5s0. For the cadmium, there is your the 2 plus. See this one. The krypton 4d10 5s0. For the zinc, that is Zn2 plus, their electronic configuration becomes the what the argon 3d10 4s0. So see what the iron here, that is a Fe3 plus here. They are given the Fe3 plus. Here I am going to write the which is what the argon 3d5, and this becomes what the 4s0. Now we have to identify, so which one follows the pseudo noble gas configuration, because Ns2 Np6 is the what the general electronic configuration for the what the noble gas or the inert gas. That means you just identify this is the what the Ns2 Np6, and later on what you are having, there is the what the Nd10. So this follows the which one the pseudo noble gas configuration. This one also follows, this one also follows, but not this one, because we are having a 3d5. But actually according to the pseudo noble gas configuration, they have to contain the what the this one Ns2 Np6 and Nd10. Okay, this metal ion does not shows the what the pseudo inert gas configuration, hence the option is D. Okay, remember this concept, this is very important one. Whichever the metal ion they shows the pseudo noble gas configuration, their salt always they which is what the covalent in nature. Okay, so let me move on to the next question, the next one. Now see the 11th question. Which of the following molecule is non-polar? Okay, but here what you have to identify is what the which of the following the molecule, the mu value which is equal to what the 0. Okay, so now you have to identify, that means whichever the compound, if the mu value, there is a dipole moment value which is equal to 0, that shows that it is a non-polar. Okay, let me take the first one here, that is what the XeF2. Next thing is what the PCl3F2, and also we are having a which is what the xenon tetrafluorides. Okay, to identify the non-polar, you have to identify the hybridization and also the which in the lone pair. That gives you what the shape. So by knowing the shape, we can identify so whether the dipole moment is present or not. Okay, let me take the first one here. This is what the xenon. So we know how to calculate the hybridization by using the equation, that is half into valence electron monovalent minus cation plus the anion. Once you know this one, again you have to calculate the lone pair, that is the number of hybrid orbitals minus divalent minus the monovalent. So these equations you have to remember. Let me take for the first one. In this case, the valence electron for the xenon is the 8. Okay, and the monovalent will be the 2. We don't have the cations and we don't have the anions. Okay, so 10 by 2, that refers to which is the 5. That means the value we got 5. Hybridization is the sp3d. Okay, let me calculate the lone pair here. So here the 5, we don't have the divalent, but we are having a monovalent. So the finally we got the 3 lone pair. Similarly in this case, the central atom is the which in the phosphorus here. So now we are having a half into the valence electron is the 5, the monovalent is also the 5. We don't have the cations, we don't have the which is the anions. Okay, again here also we got the 5. Again the hybridization is sp3d. So again if you calculate the lone pair here, so the lone pair what you are going to get is the 5 minus 0 minus the 5, because we are having a 5 monovalent, hence the value that becomes the 0. So come to the next one here. Here we are having which is the half. The valence electron is the 8. The monovalent is the 4. We don't have the cations and we don't have the anions. And here we got the which is the 6. Okay. So if it is 6, the hybridization is the sp3d2. And see the lone pair here. The lone pair which is equal to 6 minus 0, that is the minus the 4. The lone pair of electron which is equal to the 2. Okay. See this one here. According to this hybridization, this is the sp3 hybridization, the shape will be the trigonal, this is the bipyramidal. Okay, let me take the particular this one here. So this is the xenon is the central atom, and this will be the 2 fluorine. Okay, that is the axial. Okay, and here we are engaging the 3, that is the lone pair, which are present at the which is the equatorial. Okay, see this one. So this is the particular shape of the which is this one. Okay, just identify this one here. So here the bond we are going to identify like this. Okay, see this one here. See this one. So these things, okay, this will be the present on the same plane. This will be the other side. This will be the equatorial. This will be the axial, and the dipole moment from the less electronegative to the more, less electronegative to the more. Okay, now they gets cancels each other. The mu value that which is equal to 0. Okay, so let me go for the next one here. The central atom is which is the phosphorus, and here we are having which is the fluorine, the 2 fluorine here. Okay, and they are present at the axial, and the next thing is the chlorine, they are present at the equatorial. Okay, now see this one. So if these 3 present on the which is the same plane, they cancels each other. Similarly, these 2 will be present on the same plane, they cancels each other. Hence the mu value that is equal to the 0. Okay, now see the next one here. That's the last one here. According to the hybridization, the shape will be the octahedral. Okay, now see this one. I am going to take the which is the xenon here. Okay, so I am going to take the which is this one. This is the octahedral here. So like this, the 4 fluorine are present on the which is the same plane. This will be present on the which is the same plane. Okay, see this one. But these 2, we are having a 2 lone pair of electron, that will be this one. The 2 lone pair of electrons which will be on the different. Okay, now see this one here. So this will be the particular, this one here. So this will be these 2 lone pair present on the different plane here. The one is above, the next thing is below. That means here they are in the same plane, hence they cancels each other, hence the mu value that is equal to the 0. Now in all the 3 particular the compound, the mu value which is equal to the 0, that shows that it is a non-polar, hence in this case the option is the which one, the D. Okay, so next one, let me move on to the next question here. That is about the in P4S3, how many there's a phosphorus to phosphorus bond are present. Okay, it's nothing but the tetraphosphorus trisulfide. Okay, it is a tetraphosphorus trisulfide here. So let me write the structure of this compound here. We are having the phosphorus, and the next thing we are having which is the sulfur, and here also we are having which is the sulfur. The next thing is the phosphorus, but again here also we are having which is the phosphorus. Okay, so this is the particular the structure of P4S3. So what you have to identify phosphorus to phosphorus, that means 1, this is the 2, this is the 3. So see the linkage. So from P1 to P2, P2 to P3, again the P3 to the P1. That means we can identify the phosphorus to phosphorus. That is there is the 3 bonds. Okay, hence in this case the option is which one? A. Okay, so next one. See the next one here. In C3O2, the hybridization state of carbon is, okay, this is nothing but which is the carbon suboxide. Okay, let me write the particular name here. So this compound is nothing but which is the carbon suboxide. Okay, sometimes they are going to give you the name, but you have to know the particular formula. Carbon suboxide is nothing but C3O2. The structure is like this: oxygen to carbon double bond, again double bond with carbon, again double bond with carbon, the last thing is double bond O. Okay, see this one here. So already I told in the one of the question that if the carbon is surrounded by the 2 sigma bond and the 2 pi bond, the hybridization is the sp. Similarly, just go this one, sigma, and we are having a pi bond, sigma, again we are having which in the pi bond. Okay, just consider this one here. So here we can identify the 2 pi and 2 the sigma bond, hence the hybridization is which one, the sp. Again you have to identify this one here again. So over here you are going to get the 2 pi and the 2 sigma bond, again the hybridization is the sp. And here also we are going to get the same thing, the 2 pi and the 2 sigma bond, again what you are having this is the sp. Okay, so in the carbon suboxide, all the carbons are sp hybridization, hence the option is which one? A. Okay, next one. If the resultant dipole moment of water is 1.85 dBA, the D stand for the dBA is the name of the scientist. When then what is its value in terms of the cm? The cm is stand for the which is the coulomb meter. Okay, it is not a centimeter, it is the coulomb meter. Okay, now see this one here. So the one thing we have to remember this one, that is, so 1 dBA, which is equal to 3.33 into 10 to the power of minus 30, that is the coulomb meter. Or else this is also equal to which one, the 1 into 10 to the power of minus 10, that is what the ES, this is the electrostatic unit here. So nowadays they are going to use the what, the Armstrong here. Okay, now see this one here. But here the relation is only between these two, forget about this one here. So the if the resultant dipole moment of water, they are given the in terms of the dBA, that means 1.85 dBA. So which is equal to how many, that is what the particular value in terms of the which in the coulomb meter. If you do the cross multiplication, 1.85 into 3.33 into 10 to the power of minus 30 divided by the what, the 1, here the value what we are going to get is 6.17 into 10 to the power of minus 30, that is the what, the coulomb meter. Okay, this is the what, the value, but you have to remember this value, this is the constant value. Okay, so hence the option is the which one, that is the what, the B. Okay, so next one, which of the following is an electrovalent linkage? So you have to identify the what, the electrovalent linkage. This is nothing but, this electrovalent is nothing but the which is the what, the ionic bond. Okay, this concept you have to remember. Okay, instead of the ionic bond, they are going to give you the electrovalent linkage. Okay, so generally we know that how the ionic bond is going to take place. That means the what, the bond is between, the bond between metals and non-metals, metals and the which is the what, the non-metal. Okay, that means whenever the what, the bond taking place between the what, the metal and the what, the non-metal, that gives you what, the ionic bond. The ionic bond is nothing but the which is the electrovalent linkage. Okay, in the case both are the which is the non-metals, but here the one is metal, next thing is the non-metal, both are the which is the non-metal, and here also the both are which on the non-metals. Okay, so now we know that the what, the magnesium is a metal and the what, the chlorine is a which is the what, the non-metal. Okay, now so these two combines, that means when the magnesium combines with the what, the chlorine. Okay, so here it combines to chlorine to form the which is what, the magnesium chloride. Okay, so between the what, the metals and the non-metal, the one of the what, the particularly what, the element which loses their electron, the one is the what, the which gains the electron. This is the what, less electro, this is the what, the more electronegative, this is the what, the more electropositive. If the bond taking place between the what, the electropositive and the electronegative, always what you are going to get, the ionic bond. Okay, hence in this case the option is which one, that is the what, the B.